Hi, I'm Christopher Deane, and welcome to part 2 of a tutorial series where we build a design system in Sketch. Today we're going to bring in our brand or logo, set up our colors, and some shared styles. If you open Abstract and pick up where we left off, you'll see this screen. Over to the right, we're going to start a new branch, and we're going to call this one Brand, Colors, and Shared Styles. Now we're going to select Edit in Sketch. Now you can see that notification at the bottom that says this document does not use a color profile. Let's fix that. Go to File, Change Color Profile, and change from Unmanaged to sRGB. And now we're going to clean up the names of the artboards. They're a little bit messy, and they could probably do with a hyphen like that between each word. That's better. Let's zoom out. Now we're going to set up our symbols page. Now to make one, you need a symbol. So let's just make a rectangle of any size. Go up to here. Select Create Symbol. Now you can see the symbols page has been created on the left. Let's select it. Delete this symbol. And now we've still got the page. So we're going to go grab that desktop artboard and copy and paste that into the symbols page. Let's select it and make sure it's set to 0, 0 on the main canvas. Now we'll change this artboard to A3 landscape size. And the reason we're going to do that is to keep your symbols page nice and tidy instead of thousands of little symbols that go along a horizontal line for about 5 kilometers and nicely placed in a grid kind of structure on top of an artboard. That artboard you can export as a PDF. Maybe you've got somebody in marketing that wants to see a style guide or send it to a client or something like that. We're going to set you up to do that as well. So the first thing we do is change its height to 1356. And then we're going to give this page a name, like an H1. Let's zoom in, turn on the guides, grab the text tool, click and drag it out, type in brand, colors, and shared styles. Okay, whoops. There we go. Copy this, and let's go change the name of the artboard to that same name. So we've got Design System, Brand, Colors, and Shared Styles. We're going to change its size to 40 and a line height of 48. So let's go over here to your type settings. Line height of 48. Left align it. I'm going to be using Montserrat as the font for all the headings. And I'm going to select Montserrat Bold. Let's zoom in and move it down so the artboard has some breathing room. I'm going to duplicate it, grab the bottom one in the layers list, and move that down. And I'm going to change that to brand. Then I'm going to change its size to an H2, which will be 32 and 40 line height. Okay, I'm going to move the brand up a little bit. See how that looks. By the way, that's a good shortcut to turn on your layout settings and turn them off. Go Control L. There you go. It's time to bring in a logo. I've already done mine in Sketch, so I'm going to go and copy and paste it from there. But But you can copy and paste yours from Illustrator and it'll keep all these shape layers. You can see the Deane logo is already designed on an 8x8 grid. I'm just going to copy and paste it from here. Let's group that. And then call it logo /logo primary. And I'll take you through some more naming convention things later. But for now, let's just move this into place. And instead of creating a symbol out of it now, I'm going to use it to pick out all the colors that we need. I'm just going to move it up, select those two headings underneath it, group them by going Command G and changing that to content. I'm now going to grab that H2 I made earlier and duplicate that. Move it down underneath the logo to about there and call this colors. Let's zoom in. Select that logo layer so we can place something on top of it and make a rectangle. I'm going to make mine 208 by 120. Now we can change this later, but that's a good size to start with. Let's zoom in. Get rid of the border by unchecking this and then hitting delete. Go back over, turn off our layout view, click on the fill color, grab the color picker, and come over here to the red. And this is where we're going to make our first shared style. Drop down the No Shared Style, select Create New Shared Style, and then change this to color / color again, and then primary. This is going to allow us to set up multiple different shared styles and then just select what color we want to change out that value very quickly in the design system. We've only got one, let's make some more. Turn on the layout settings and then turn the grid back on. Duplicate this by going copy and paste or by holding down Option Shift, dragging along. I turn the guides on as well. That makes things snap a lot better. All right. Let's turn off the grid. Turn off our layout settings, select the first one, select its color, the color picker, and then come over and grab that blue. Come over and grab the green, yellow, and blue. Yeah, we've got kind of like a dark blue here and a lighter blue. And that's just what I've chosen. You can use whatever combination of colors you like. You can have one primary and one secondary. You can have a primary and just black. That's up to you. Now let's change those colors to what they should be. Drop this down, go Create New Shared Style. Change primary to secondary 1. Secondary 2. I'm just going to copy this. Secondary 3. And secondary 4. Awesome, that's our main color setup. Now we need some blacks and grays. I'm going to duplicate this one. I'll turn on the grid and layout settings first. Drag it down to about here. Give it some space. And change it to 222, 222. I never really use an absolute black, but that's up to you again. I'm going to change this to I'm going to duplicate it and then change this one to 444444. That gives you kind of like a nice darker gray. I'm going to duplicate it again, and this time give it 888888. Cool. The first one is going to be called Gray 1, and the second will be Gray 2. I'm going to duplicate this last one again 2 more times. I'm going to change the first one to EB. I bet a lot of you know what that one is. And you guessed that the second one's going to be something like F6, F6, F6. Select the first one, change this to light gray 1, copy that name, and change the second one to light gray 2. All right, we're starting to get somewhere. You should still add a white swatch, so let's do that. At the end, click and drag that light 2 one, change its color to white by just dragging the color picker right up to the top left, and changing its shared style name to color white. And we can't see white, so how are we going to show it off? Let's grab primary, place it right underneath it, change the order. You can do this by arrange, send backward. Change its width and its height. We want to change each one of these shared styles into a symbol so we can use them and override them in nested symbols. So you think of like a button with one color and you just want to swap it out with another color for another state, you can do that easily. For now, let's just rename them what their shared styles were as well. Go organize shared styles, double click on that one, paste it there. I think it's going to be faster to quickly go through and change all of these manually. Secondary 1. Secondary 2. Secondary 3. Secondary 4. Color / color black. Gray 1, copy that. Paste it there for gray 2. And look at that. I'm going to place the red box behind white, not light gray 2. Let's do that. That's better. Go back to renaming them. Light gray 1. Put a capital where the gray is. Light gray 2. Leave the red named rectangle 2 because it's just a background color. Change this to white. Now let's clean up our layers. I'm going to place that red rectangle in the content folder right at the bottom. I'm going to make sure all of these are layered properly and named properly. It'll look pretty good. Then you can simply select each one and create a symbol out of it. All right, where did they all go? They're all over here on the right-hand side, as you would expect. We're going to go and grab each one and move it over the original color. It's going to help if we select that H2, turn on our grid and our layout settings, so we can snap them into place. Do this for each symbol that you've just created. Just move these closer to make it easier for myself. Last one white, right there. Let's just quickly see if they're all placed properly. Everything seems to snap into place really well. Now select all of these, which are the ones that are below the real symbols. Delete them. If we select the primary swatch, come over to its shared style, you can drop down and now see that color is the folder. That's why you put a / in the front of it. And then you can just select whatever color you want from there. You can also go up to the Add Symbols icon, and the same thing is true there. But these are symbols, not shared styles. So if we place color black, here we can replace it with color gray 1 very quickly, or yellow. Let's delete that. Save where we are. Grab this H2 and duplicate it. Select the bottom one in the layer list. Turn on Layout and Grid. And move it below the color swatches. Give it some space. And we'll call this one Styles. Let's zoom in. The first one we're going to make is a line. So go to the line tool, which is this one here. Select it and click and drag with Shift held down to get a nice horizontal line happening. Let go, zoom in. What we're going to do is change its style to a rounded cat and its width to something like 87. What we can do here to make things easier for ourselves, select the primary color, select the fill color, and see document colors down here on the right. If you click the plus symbol, it'll add that color to your document colors. Let's do that for all of them. I wish you could do this with all the colors at once, but you can't. Gray 1, gray 2, like gray 1, and white. There you go. Let's go back to our little line. So we want to make some line styles that are 1 pixel, 2 pixel, and maybe 4 pixel. Let's duplicate it. In the layers window, move it down. Change its thickness to 2. Duplicate it again. Select the bottom one. Move it down. Change its thickness to 4. Go back in and fix that 0.5 offset to... Now I've got a 2 pixel line sitting where it should be. Select the 4 and Again, get rid of the half pixel. Okay, let's group all of these by selecting them all. Name the folder Shapes. Expand it, select them all again, and group them. And change this to Shapes / lines primary. Now we're not going to make symbols out of these, but we're going to color them, the primary color. Select all of them, go to the border color, select its fill, go down to the document color primary and select it. We're then going to select the first one, create a new shared style called shape / line primary / 1 pixel. Let's go and copy that name. There it is. Paste that as the next line's name, but change this to 2 pixels. And do the same thing for the 4 pixel one. Okay, if I now select the first one, here we've got shape, line primary, 1, 2, 4. Let's grab all those lines, duplicate them, move them into place. Do this as many times as you have different colors. So we've got 5 colors for the top. Let's move these down the bottom, give them some space. Slowly move them over to the left. That's about right. That'll be black. And then the other grays that we need. And white. Let's go and rename their folders properly. Secondary 1. Secondary 2, and so on. Primary to black, gray, 1, light gray 1, light gray 2, and white. Save where we're at. Turn off all your guides. We're going to grab all these secondary 1 lines, change their color to blue. Secondary 2 lines, change their colors to green. Secondary 3 lines, change the color to yellow. And the last one to the more cyan blue. I'm going to change this to black. Gray 1. Gray 2. Light gray 1, light gray 2, and white. And again, we'll need something to place behind those white elements so they show up. Let's go grab the rectangle from behind the white color swatch. Duplicate it, move it down until it gets out of the way, and then drag it behind the white lines. and then resize that nicely. There we go. Now, we go back in and I select one of those lines. It's still got the line primary name. We're going to have to go through and change all of these to the correct names. Now, I'm not going to talk you through all of that. I'm just going to go ahead and do them, and hopefully you'll end up with the same result as I do. All of this will be fast forwarded. Fantastic. Let's turn the grid back on and our layout options. Let's grab the styles heading, duplicate it. I've just gone Command D. Select the one at the bottom, move it into place, slowly but surely. And rename it Surfaces. This is going to be the drop shadows. I'm going to use the ones from the Google Material Guidelines, and I'll put the link to the website that I'm about to show you in the description of this video. This is a page in the Material Design Guidelines that gives you a shadows and sketch file. Let's download it, open it, and you can see that there's many different kinds. Do they have shared styles? Yes. We're going to rename those soon. Select the first one, the third one, the fifth one, the seventh one, and the ninth one. Copy those. Select the Shapes folder, so when I paste them, they're going to land on top of it. Ooh, where did they go? I'm going to group them and call this folder Surfaces. I'm going to close Shapes and move it above Surfaces. I can now zoom out and hold down Shift and drag the first one. It's going to move all of them over. As long as you hold down Shift and move it into place, the rest of them won't snap outside of your artboard. I'm going to resize all of them to the same size as the colors, which is 208 and 120. Select all of them, change this to 208 and 120. Make sure that this isn't on lock. Move the first one down. If you turn on guides, this should snap into place. The third one's off the canvas, so let's just hold down Shift and move it over until we can see it. Move that into place. Grab the other two, move them up, and place them underneath the others. You can see we're running out of space at the bottom of the artboard. So let's move everything that's down there up a little bit to get it away from the bottom. The two headings can come up. All of these shape styles can do the same. Remember to bring the red rectangle up that's showing the white lines, and then these surfaces can follow. Now we're going to rename what these have been called. Select one of them, go to Organize Shared Styles, select them and delete them. Make sure there's no strays. Okay. Select the first one and go create your shared style, calling it Shape Surface L1. Let's put a forward slash there. L2, and so on. Now when we select the first one and drop this down, we'll have an entry for surface and then L1, L2, L3, L4. Let's zoom out. Turn off our guides. Save where we're at. And we can now start to use the shared colors that we've created to color back in the logo. We can start by selecting that box, changing it to color primary, changing this one to secondary 1, secondary 2, secondary 3, and secondary 4. Well, that's great, but how do we get the lighter colors that are in the logo? Let's select this and duplicate it, move it down so we can match it. Set this to color primary and its fill to 60% for this one. Delete the extra element, select it again, drop down its fill color, select the color picker, and then select itself. Now what this has done is made a fully opaque color of 60% primary. So we're going to create a new name for it, /60%. And while we're doing that, we might as well grab the primary color and rename it to 100%. So when we select it from here, we now have the option to use either 100 or 60%. Now I'm going to go and fast forward through the rest of them, doing the same thing, and I'll meet you on the other side. Let's check all those to see if they're done properly. Primary 160, this one's got 100, 40, 60, and 80. 160, 100% because there's only one yellow, and 160, fantastic. Let's zoom out. Okay, there's one more thing to do. Let's zoom into the logo. Now it's been set up. Create a symbol out of it. Go and find that symbol. Overlay the one that's just been placed there. Clean it up. Move it to the bottom, just over here. Delete the one under it. And there we go, we've finished part 2. I'm not going to go into abstract this time because I want to see how clever abstract is and make another branch for the next part, which is typography. Then we're going to merge both of them together at the same time and see if we get any conflicts. So join me for that part in less than a week, and have a good night. Bye.